Hello, Taurus. Thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn, Supportive Oracle Cards, The Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. I really like this deck. I'm getting really used to it. I don't know, I've said it in a couple of videos that, like, when I originally got the deck, I liked the pictures, but I was like, oh, I don't know if I can really read with that. But it turns out I really like it. I like it a lot more than I thought I was going to. Okay. What do we have for your tarot cards? Now we're doing Taurus, but I did pull out some Libra energy for somebody, so if it fits for you, do with it what you need to. Libra is also about balance and justice, so we might be going down that road, like balance and justice type feel here. Let's see where we're going. Coming into this situation, you've got the turtle spirit, which says slow and steady wins the race, which I find it very ironic that they have a sea turtle on there, because I don't know, I'm not feeling the slow and steady wins the race. I'm feeling like going with the flow, catching the current. Sometimes life goes fast, sometimes it doesn't. I feel like when you catch into the flow of something, and that's what they're saying with this, when you catch into the flow or you catch into a current, you know, you can ride with it. You can flow with it. When you understand, especially if you're familiar with it, if it's going a little fast and you're familiar with it, you can flow with that. You can do things quickly if you need to, but it depends on the situation, and also if it's something you're familiar with and you know what to do with it, it makes sense. You're okay with it for that reason too. You're not going to just run into something and do it quickly just to screw it up. If you can competently do it quickly, then you'll do that. And I'm feeling like you're going with the flow on this situation. When you're coming into this, it's quick already. The situation's quick, but you seem to be familiar with it. It's very stressful. It seems like it's stressful for you and for other people, but different for you. The reason it's stressful for you is because you know what to do. You just got to keep focus. It takes a lot of focus to do it at this rate. To do it this fast and to do it right, you got to use a lot of focus. And that's the stress for you. Like holding that focus and like, all right, here we go, there we go. This goes, yep, here, there, yes. But that's the stress for you. Like you have to have a high level of focus while you're doing this, but you seem to be successful with it. Other people are having a hard time with it because it's just a lot. It's just a lot. I feel like other people are just having a hard time keeping up with it, period. You seem to be more successful here with that because you're like, focus, I gotta have the focus. You're there. All right, you got Vulture Spirit on your side. This is kind of like, this is also talking about the stress. It says nothing is wasted. You're not a fan of going fast just to screw it up and have to do it again. You're not a fan of screwing it up and just leaving a mess behind either. Like, it's very kind of like, all right. And you might be a little bit hard to deal with during this time. The Vulture Spirit is a good spirit. There's nothing wrong with it. But sometimes the way people relay or look at it, the way they respond to it, that's the word I want. They don't see it as a very pleasing energy, but it's a very useful energy. It's a very strong energy. It takes care of what needs to get done. It goes out there and it's like, well, that's a mess. But the vulture will be like, well, that mess is my dinner, so I'll just take care of that. They clean it up. They make use of it. People don't like that, but once the mess is gone, they're happy the mess is gone at the same time. So you're handling things. People might not be liking how you're handling it, or they might be intimidated. They might be intimidated by you. People are intimidated by vultures too. That could be an intimidation factor. But you're doing what needs to get done. You're very like, get out of my way, I'm doing this. Get out of my way, I have to focus. Listen, I don't have time for you, I'm doing this. There's too much going on, you're going to have to wait. And you keep going and doing what you're doing. That could be the energy we're feeling there. Hummingbird with the moth are in the environment. And it's pushing up towards you. People want your attention. People want you to do this. People want you to do that. You're like, listen, I'm focused on this. I can't deviate. I got a lot going on. You're going to have to wait. And I feel like they're pushing towards you. They're saying how much they want you. what does it say on this card? Be here now, surrender now. They want you to be there for them. Hummingbird is also, I connect hummingbird with love. The moth I also see like as like a night creature that really is beautiful, but sometimes is misunderstood. It's like it's almost like the midnight butterfly, in my opinion, which it's not a butterfly, I know that, but they can be beautiful. They can be beautiful. They just look different. They're trying to pull you in, but I feel like you're making them wait. You're having to make them wait. But you do care about this person. I feel like you're going to have to explain afterwards, because when you're very much busy, there's only so much you can do. You're just kind of like, go over there, not now. You're going to have to wait. The Ace of Cups is telling me things are working out. You do care about this person. You're being as nice to them as possible. It's not as bad as you think, because I feel like you might snap at them or say something to them and then like be like, oh crap, now I'm going to have to pick that up after. Now I'm going to have to clean that up later because I said something. It was a little bit sharp. I feel like they understand. So at this point, it's almost like saying, don't worry too much, because you will go back and make things right if it feels like you said something a little too harshly. It's also, I do feel like there's an intimidation factor here too. Other people want you to slow down so they don't have to work so hard. It's not going to work. That seems to be another thing. Kind of like you have to get something done. You're going to focus and get it done. You will circle back around. Whoever this person was, whatever this thing is, whatever's going on, you will circle back around. You got Badger Spirit. It says be fierce and bold, right? Be fearless and bold. Okay. Badgers are so beautiful. I just think they're really attractive, but they're also that thing of like, even though they're very beautiful, you don't mess with them because they'll get you. Fearless and bold. You know, they can be very fearless and bold. Don't mess with the Badger Spirit. Like, you're coming in with this energy, kind of like, you know, you're very beautiful. You have a very nice energy about you usually, but if somebody rubs you the wrong way, you're like, you'll set them straight about where this is going to go. And I feel like you're circling back around. You're coming back with a very tender touch. You're trying to be very nice starting off, but I feel like you make the point very quickly, kind of like, I want to help you. I have this much time, so make it worth it. Give me the points. Get to the point. I don't have time to mess around with it. So I'm coming back around. You mean something to me. I didn't mean to snap at you, but I got a lot going on. So if you need me, get to the point. What do you need? And I'll see what I can do for you. I'll work this out with you. I'll give you advice, whatever you need. You got a lot of earth coming in here. Knight of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. You're very dedicated to whoever this is, but you're also kind of like, listen, we get along well, I help you out, you'll help me out, but these are the rules right now. Go by my rules. Honor these rules and we'll be okay. And you're telling that. It's Pentacles very heavy on like, do it by the structure. I'm telling you what I can do for you. I'm telling you how much time I have. Honor this, we'll be okay. So it's funny, you're coming back around with a very caring attitude, but at the same time a very strict. So very caring and strict at the same time. In the environment, you got the peacock with the mouse. Peacock says let it shine. Mouse says tend to the small things. Mouse, sometimes mice seem very random to me, but they're very predictable, it seems like, too. I don't know why I'm saying that. Like, certain things will draw them in. They just can't seem to help themselves. They're prone to the same problems. It seems like that's a thing with mouse for some reason right now. Peacock makes me feel like they're a little bit too showy sometimes. And depending, like the males are really showy, and they're the ones with the bright feathers, from what I understand, and the females are more of a muted color. When I'm feeling these two things come together, though, it's like they have predictable problems, and they're highlighting something here. And I feel like you might get aggravated with this, kind of like they're coming to you for help. They're coming to you because they need something, and you're immediately like, really? You mean the same problem you've done 50 other times that I've told you to do the same 50 other way? I've told you to do the same time. Like, every time you come to me with this problem, I tell you the same thing to do about it. It's like I tell you every time what to do and you do it, but it's like I've told you this 50 times. Why can't you just, like, seriously, I've told you this 50 times. I feel like that energy is there. And you're kind of like looking at this predictable, and you're just kind of like, all right, listen, let me just shortcut this. Are you doing this? Is this what's happening? Is this what you're doing over here? What have I told you every other time you've done this? Do that. just do it. Because I feel like you're not trying to come off gruff, but I feel like you're kind of like, really? I got a lot going on. I got a lot to focus on, and you're coming to me with something. I've helped you with the same situation over 50 times. I always tell you the same thing to do. Do that. Do what I tell you. Like, you already know what I'm going to tell you. Just do it. Like, why do you need me to tell you? I feel like that energy is there. Like, you're like, really? Seriously. All right, so you do what you have to do with this. Frustration is a little high here. I'm feeling that. You got the Seven of Swords, the Tower, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. This, I feel like this is the point, what we're heading for. The whole thing about this reading is that I think you're getting fed up with somebody. You're starting to feel like you're more of a nursemaid than an actual help. It's kind of like you don't feel like they're learning from you. They're just wanting you to like coddle them or something. You're sick of doing that. You're sick of like waiting. You're sick of like telling them every time, like, color inside the lines. Color inside the lines. Color inside the lines. At this point, you're kind of like, how do you not know to color in the lines? How many times have I told you to color in the lines? Like, what do you think I'm going to say? Color outside the lines now. What do you expect me to say? I keep telling you to color in the lines. I'm sick of telling you. You're getting to the point where you're fed up because you keep telling the same person the same thing. And you're expecting them to evolve and do it on their own, and they're not. And you're getting, like, at this point, you're frustrated. You're kind of like, all right, I'm done. Hopefully they figure it out because I'm sick of it. They do. There's a shock here, kind of like they're screwing it up, and you're just like, how are you screwing it up when I've told you so many times how to do it, and you usually every time I tell you you do it right, this one time I don't, you screw it up. Like, I have to hold your hand. You're decided you're done. You've decided you're done. You're like, I'm sick of holding this person's hand. It's never gonna change. They just want me to hold their hand, and I don't have time to hold their hand this time. You're walking away from this. You're refusing to hold their hand this time. You're refusing. Which is a lot, because I feel like you're very frustrated. Very frustrated. You got too much going on. You're very focused. You got to be very focused on this other situation. This other situation is more important for whatever reason. They're having a hard time with this, but you're just like, I can't hold your hand this time. They know what to do. You've told them. You're stepping back. I feel like you're stepping back. Now, the result of this is very interesting to me. I feel like you might step away and you might be flat out done. You got Eagle Spirit with Stag Spirit. Eagle says Spirit has your back. Stag has take the lead. Eagle, I feel like, sees the big picture. There's another card in here that says the same thing, but I feel like the Eagle can see it all and is looking at stuff and like, where is this going? What have I been doing with this? You're making your own decision. You're freeing yourself from the situation. You're moving on from this person. You're disconnecting from this person because you're like, listen, I don't have the time to be somebody's nursemaid. There's no reason for it. I can't live your life for you. I feel like that's what I'm doing. I'm done. You're like, this person seems to really have ticked you off, which is interesting because you do care about them, but they've really pushed your buttons. They pushed your buttons at the wrong time. You stepped back, they fell on their face, and you're just kind of like, you're really aggravated with them for falling on their face because you're like, there's no reason for you to fall on your face at this point. I've helped you so many times. You know what to do. If you fell on your face, apparently you want to. I'm sick of it. So you're pulling back and you're moving on. You're like, I'm done. I'm surprised that it's like, Taurus doesn't usually pull back that quickly, but I feel like it's out of sheer frustration and you got this other situation that's more important. It's just like, I'm not going to let this other situation fail just because you're being a dork. I'm not going to do it. So you're stepping away. You're forcing this person to pick up their own pieces and make another plan. They have to find another way to survive with this situation. For some of you, the person you've been dealing with, they thrive off of somebody else living their life for them. I don't know why we're saying it that way, but it's the way it's coming out. They want somebody to tell them what to do. They constantly want that. And if you're not going to do that for them, they're going to move on to somebody else who will. It's not a healthy energy. You disconnecting from this is right. You should. That's what I'm getting. It's a general read, so take it with a grain of salt. But if that's really how that's hitting, you stepping away is a good thing. you're not happy, like the two of you are not happy with each other, but I feel you disconnecting is better for you. Because I feel like you're going to have a lot more stability stepping away from them. You're going to hear a lot of things where I'm getting it's not tiger, it's spider spirit. Spider makes me feel about communication and getting out there and talking to people. I'm also getting with the spider, like it does say, make your dreams real. I'm not really feeling it though. That's what it says on the card, but I'm not really feeling that. I feel like this is something you have to stand up against. It is not just about walking away from this person, but maybe it's time to evaluate other people in your life and see who else is pulling this trick with you. Who else is goading you in, getting you to try to live their life for them, and you're just kind of coddling them, but nothing is improving. I feel like this is a moment for them saying, do a self-audit. You might be too busy, you got a lot going on, but maybe you might want to think about that, maybe put that on your to-do list to audit your personal relationships and people you're helping and decide whether it's really good for you to be helping these people or if it's just draining you. Because it feels like there's a lot of people that just kind of like drain on your energy. Even though you have a lot of it, maybe there's people around you, other people around you, that it's time to cut them off too. I feel like that's the whole point of this. Kind of like you're going to get rid of this one out of sheer frustration, and that's good. You don't want to replace that opening with somebody else who's going to do the same thing. And you also want to look around. Who else is doing this to you? Who else is playing this game with you that you actually do need to get rid of or need to change how that goes? Time for a self-audit. That's what they're saying. You may be very busy right now, but probably you're usually busy. Put it on your to-do list. Evaluate other relationships. Start thinking about who else is pulling this on you that you should not have around you that doesn't deserve your time. All right, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.